Hey guys, about to go into round one of an Oath of the Gatewatch draft. We drafted a pretty sweet Grixis deck with some questionable mana. Grixis colorless deck, that is. But we're going to hope things go well. And this isn't bad. We don't have... Oh, we do have a colorless source and Cultivator Drone. That's right. All right, well, we're going to keep this then. I'm going to play Skyline Cascade on turn one, sadly, because I want to be able to play Sky Scour on turn two. And it just keeps things sort of in line without me having to draw... lands later, so all right. We will play Sky Scourer now. And I'll probably play Cultivator Drone. Well, maybe I'll play Blinding Drone first. It doesn't really make a difference, I don't think, but all right. The Cultivator Drone and Blinding Drone both block this pretty well, but they can easily both get blown out by my opponent playing any spell, and not blown out. The Cultivator Drone would at least trade with it, but I would also lose my only colorless source. So that's not super ideal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Blinding Drone first. I also don't necessarily have to block. I probably won't at this point, actually, so. Blinding Drone is a pretty good candidate to eat removal to the face. Okay, Benthic Infiltrator. Well, now we know he can't play anything. See, if he attacked first, I would have just ended up taking two there, so that was probably the ideal move for him, but it's not what he did. All right. So now I will play Cultivator Drone. I'm playing it now because I want my Sky Scour to get pumped. And then I will swing with it. Kind of like I have Cohort over here because I'll have to tap down both of them to tap creatures, but I can't do it this turn anyway, so not something I need to think about. So far, Sky Scourer has gotten a trigger every turn, and I still can't say Scourer very well. It's a strange word. It's not one you use real frequently in the world today. So our opponent seems like he might be blue-white skies, but he does want colorless mana. There are plenty of blue cards that make you want to play colorless mana. He may have his own Blinding Drone or drones, for example. He could also have the big bomb that is basically Bident of Thassa with a body. Okay, Containment Membrane. I'm pretty cool with him using that to tap down my Scourer and not my Blinding Drone or my Cultivator Drone. So, and I would not trade for an Entangler right now. I would just take 4. I could use Sweep Away on my own. Oh, no, I can't. Yeah, I can. I could use it on my own guy if I really want to get rid of Containment Membrane. Ooh, double Containment Membrane. Yeah, that's gross. Okay. All right. Well, I probably will end up... There's a good chance I end up wanting to do that. Use my Sweep Away to get one of those off of my creature. But we'll see. Another Blinding Drone. Okay. Slaughter Drone can make sure it trades. And I can also leave Sweep Away up. So, and then figure out what I want to do exactly. I could swing with my Cultivator here. And maybe I will. Then I can't. I mean, he'll still trade with the only creature I can block this turn anyway, barring another double spell turn. So I think I'm okay with just getting in with the Cultivator. And I can use the Blinding Drone still to block that as well. So it doesn't... I'm not going to be able to use its ability real effectively because of what our opponent has done to it. So, I mean, and using Sweep Away there has some value. I mean, I am taking out one of his cards technically, but my board position would be kind of bad, but we'll just sort of make a decision here depending on what our opponent decides to do. And that's what he decided to do. Just swing with one thing, and we're cool with that. Man, I would not have minded an Eldrazi Mimic. Containment Membrane number 3 on our Cultivator drone. No, Gravity Negator, though. We never did get one of those, did we? And we can't swing through that very effectively. There's our Matter Reshaper, though. Who can. Yeah, I'm going to play him while I know I have the mana to do so. He can give his Entangler flying and stuff like that, which seems pretty likely. I think I would rather just take a little bit of damage from that Entangler than use Sweep Away to just put it into his hand. Putting it on top of his library is far better. And I would probably do it on the Negator since it costs more, actually. And yeah, I'll do it when he attacks this turn. I'll Sweep Away on his Gravity Negator. See what he's thinking about doing here. Unfortunately, I do have to wait for him to attack, so he will be able to give his Entangler flying. But we also have like way more damage coming his way on the backswing if that's what he decided to do. Okay, it is what he's deciding to do. We'll let him decide whether or not he's going to pay that. We're not going to do anything in response to that. And then we'll Sweep Away it after he decides. I mean, you know, it might have changed his decision making a little bit. But yeah, we'll use Sweep Away on the Negator here. Put it back on top of his library. So we know what he's drawing next turn. And we take 3 here. That Vampire Envoy would have been very nice. It would have both helped us gain life, potentially, and blocked his Gravity Negator nonsense. Hey, there's Hedron Archive. I think we probably still play Cloud Manta now, though. Although the Archive lets us turn this on and this on, even though it won't untap after we do it once. So that's worth thinking about. We're definitely just going to swing for 7 here. If he has Sweep Away or something like it, then, you know, so be it. Nope, he's just taking the 7. So, although obviously swinging with that, it isn't super ideal for me to be getting the extra mana anyway. But I could still play it and have the extra mana ready for Blinding Drone. Yeah, I think I like that. I mean, with the low life total he's at, potentially tapping a creature down next turn is like all we really need to do to make sure we get ahead in this game. But also having a 3/2 flyer is pretty good at that. So I'm going to go with the play that gives me a aggressive threat that can swing through his 2/3 that he'll potentially tap 4 mana right now to play. So, I mean, it can't swing through it. They'll both die, but you know what I mean. They'll trade. I mean, I can still play the Archive next turn and tap down a couple things. Although, Clutch of Currents. Clutch of Currents. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't talk today. So do you swing at me for 4 this time? I kind of don't think you do. I mean, if he keeps this back, there's not a whole lot I can do to him. Hey, containment membrane. So we can play Hedron Archive and containment membrane. Keep this land tapped down. I think that's pretty ideal. Both keeps him off the land and his biggest creature, one untap. So that seems pretty good. So I think I'd rather play the Archive now because I can swing with this and threaten to Death Touch. And if he just wants to trade with his Entangler, I think I'm okay with that. So actually, I can threaten to Death Touch anyway, but we're still playing the Archive here. Our poor Sky Scourer would have been scouring the skies a lot. I mean, he did anyway, I suppose. I can actually... No, I can't. I can't still play Cloud Manta. Well, for now, I'm not going to reveal anything here. I'm just going to swing with my 2/2. I mean, if I attack with this, it's not really like he would, I guess, just block. I mean, I think it's worth attacking with it because if he wants to trade, we're okay with that. We get to draw a card, like worst case scenario, and it puts more damage going his way. And I can probably even get away with swinging with my Cultivator Drone too, for the same reason. I think I will. That's lethal, so now he has to block something. Granted, he can just block one and it won't die. But, yeah, I think that's what we want to do. We can use our Containment Membrane and then our Blinding Drone to tap down another of his creatures. So, all right, that makes sense. So now we're going to throw our own Containment Membrane here. And we're going to end our turn. So if he doesn't play another creature, he's in pretty big trouble because we'll just tap down something. What is this? A Reality Smasher? That still wouldn't kill us, actually. So, but I think it probably would eventually basically kill us. He already exiled our other Blinding Drone too, sadly. Oh, yeah, that thing. Kind of forgot that existed. All right. Well, what do we tap down here? That is the basic question. Gravity Negator is probably the answer. Yeah, it is the answer. All right. We have extra mana and nothing to do with it, so we're just going to let it disappear. Wow. Well, that was a very good top deck. One that just wins us the game instantly now, barring him having a removal spell, but we would play it either way, so we're just going to do it. We're going to go Complete Disregard. We can still play our Cloud Manta in main phase 2, so we did see a lot of those Searing Lights. Okay. Nope, we took game 1. Okay, so our opponent does have at least one flyer, but we do have a couple good blockers for that. We just didn't get them. One of them got ingested. I mean, I guess Envoy and Silent Skimmer are our best things for, and Cloud Manta's not really a good blocker. It definitely gets a little less good against some opponents. Like if my opponent was playing Vampire Envoys, Cloud Manta's kind of a joke, sadly for him. I don't think there's anything I really want to change. If I saw more flyers out of him, I'd probably bring in a second Envoy and cut out, some ground creature who's not nearly as good. Maybe even Cloud Manta. I mean, Cloud Manta is best against people who just don't have flyers. If people do have flyers, it gets a lot worse because it's 4 for a 3/2 flyer, and it dies to basically all the playable flyers in the format. It just trades with them. And the Vampire Envoy is obviously way better in that situation. But I think we just keep things as is. We got our colorless sources there. I don't think we ever had red, but okay, this is a mulligan. I am thinking. If I could know I was going to draw a third land, it could be amazing. We do have a red source, and we have Herald of Kozilek, but yeah, I think we mulligan this. Okay, this is basically the same hand. A little worse, actually, but we're going to keep it. Oh, well, we can play you, actually, and you might help get me out of... Like, he can even put lands from my library into play and stuff like that. So, you know, I think I'm going to put it on top. So, this isn't really where we want to be. Yeah, neither is that. We don't want to be seeing that thing early. We do need to draw a land to be happy here. I saw a couple of those and thought about taking them. They are quite good. Just because it's another mana sink in a format that likes them. He doesn't have a colorless source yet, but he could easily still have one in his hand. Hey, that's very nice. So we're going to play Flare Drone first now, because I'm greedy. I want to make sure it does as much damage as possible, and it can block this thing and kill it. Of course, so can the Matter Reshaper, but like I said, I'm greedy, so... We'll take one. Holdout Settlement, I think, is the best of all of these lands. All right, Benthic Infiltrator is back. Well, we have done quite well on drawing lands. We will play our Flare Drone. Don't have any blue mana yet. I mean, we kind of do. Unknown Shores exists, so we can pay for Sweep Away at this point if we had to, and we had like all our lands untapped. But not much more than that. I think this board, the way it is, I'd rather play my flyer right now, my big flyer, that is, but I can't because I don't have blue, so I'm not going to. I can play my little one, though, who will give me a 2-point life swing while he's afraid to attack on the ground, and also it's a very good blocker. I think I'm going to do that over Matter Reshaper for now. I'm not going to show him my colorless land yet because I don't really want to. Benthic Infiltrator does block this guy, so it's worth realizing, but it also means Benthic Infiltrator is not attacking me, so which I like. He's going to draw a card now, though. Ugh. It's wrong. The value of that guy. He can just keep leaving mana up and drawing cards, like in a worst case scenario. For him, that's bad that that's his worst case scenario for us. Complete Disregard would be nice. Containment Membrane won't do anything to that. So that's not so good. Neither will Blinding Drone or anything like that. There's one of those. He decided to play that instead of drawing a card this turn. So he's trying to ramp into something that's potentially very frightening. There's a Blinding Drone. I like that. I can play... No, I can't. I can only play either Matter Reshaper or Blinding Drone. So we're going to get in there. Takes us up to 19. Takes him down to 19. We're going to play our Unknown Shores. I think I want to play Matter Reshaper over Cloud Manta. Well, Cloud Manta is actually pretty good right now. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Cloud Manta. Yeah. Blue and Cloud Manta. Paying 5 for a Cloud Manta is not awesome, but it gives us 4 damage in the air when we only had 1, and he doesn't have any flyers right now. So, that's nice. And it's nice knowing we have 2 cards in our hand that'll each do 1 damage to our opponent when we finally play them. Yeah, the Blinding Drone's probably coming down next because if I could tap down that Benthic Infiltrator, I would just be smashing. My Flare Drone would be getting in there. Ooh, that thing is good. I've yet to actually get to draft one of those so far. I think of all of the ones in the new in Oath of the Gatewatch, it's probably the one that I would first pick sometimes. Like, you do have to play those 2 colors for it to be good. Oh, man. He did that to us again. He still doesn't have very good attacks, though, so at least we have that going for us. So, I think we do go with Blinding Drone here. And we want to add blue. Takes him down to 18. And we'll end our turn. Does suck only having 1 colorless source right now because I can't play Matter Reshaper and then leave mana up. I also can't play blue cards and still tap stuff down because we're low on colorless sources. So it's not exactly ideal. We do run several blue sources in our deck, so one's bound to show up eventually and make our lives a little easier. No, we're just going to draw more blue cards, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he still can't really attack whether I tap stuff down or not. Like, he just doesn't have great attacks. So I think here I do just play out our Matter Reshaper. He's going to draw a card at the end of my turn, unfortunately for us. Matter Reshaper will drop him to 17. And this, being the only source of blue and only source of colorless, is killing me. So he's going to draw a card. Next turn, I can swing with Matter Reshaper. No, I can't really. I mean, Flare Drone can swing, but Benthic Infiltrator kills it in combat right now. I guess I could sweep away the Infiltrator, which isn't awful right now. But here's some of those board stalls in the format that exist, and our opponent has the good mana sink that is getting him value. That and the Seer's Lantern both. He's kind of sad probably because he doesn't have enough mana to scry and draw a card every turn, because that would just be gross. That also is gross. Probably going to have to sweep away on that, which means he's going to gain life back. If I could draw a blue source, I would be really happy, because I could play Cloud Manta or something and still leave mana up. Okay, so we're going to take this one. Silent Skimmer, that would have been nice. But a blue source, I think, is better. Oh, so much nicer. All right, so now we can tap something and bounce something. And that's pretty good. So now we probably tap the Angel instead and then use Sweep Away on the Infiltrator, maybe. Yeah. We could also just play a creature, I guess. Playing our own flyer, for example, and tapping this down seems pretty good. So that is what we're going to do instead of Sweep Away. We'll just tap down the Angel and have our Cloud Manta out there. And I'll end my turn. Coral Helm Guide also is a potential win condition, like if we get enough mana, we only have 2 blue sources, but basically only 1. But he has way more cards in his hand and a better mana sink than Coral Helm Guide is, so I don't feel great about it. So we are going to tap down the Angel. All right. Does he swing with his Infiltrator now? Yeah, he does. I wonder if he has processors. We haven't seen them, but when you have an Infiltrator, you know your process. You're going to have lots of ways to exile stuff. So Reality Smasher, man, I would have loved to smash Reality this turn. Now I'm not smashing anything. So right now my Matter Reshaper can swing, which is nice, but there's a good chance he's playing something that can block. Otherwise he wouldn't have swung with his Infiltrator. Containment Membrane, awesome. Well, maybe he doesn't have something he can do. Well, that's nice. We did draft 2 of them. Okay, I think I attack with everything. And, well, maybe not. I mean, his Angel can swing at us next turn pretty freely, which sucks. We definitely don't want to be sweeping it away either, so we're just going to have to take that 4. Yeah, I think I'm going to try swing with everything, see what he does. Then I'll play a Blinding Drone. Probably should have played the drone first, just in case he kills my Flare Drone here or something, but he could double block my Flare Drone. I would kill that Prophet. I could also use Sweep Away there, but it wouldn't be amazing. It's not like a real 2-for-1 or anything. Okay, maybe we'll hit something sweet with our Mage here. Is he about to give +1/+0 and indestructible to his creatures? Because that would be bad. Then I might be forced to use Sweep Away on the Prophet. +1/+0 and indestructible could be a thing right here. So could a Combat Trick. Encircling Fissure. Okay. Well, that means he is killing this, but I think I'm okay with that. It's going to draw us a card. We have all our mana untapped, and it may just put something into play. Oh, this is going to die too, though. Yeah, that's bad. That's pretty brutal. I could use Sweep Away here to save my Flare Drone, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we just suck it up. Our creatures die. He gets a 2-for-1, sort of. We do get to at worst draw a card. We're going to put it on the battlefield. Another blue source is actually pretty nice right there. But we did just lose sort of our best threats. But we're going to play a Blinding Drone and a Coral Helm Guide. And we have mana for Sweep Away if we want to use it on something. I'm not really sure I do at this point. I see us just getting valued out of this game eventually because of that Prophet that we just can't draw an answer for. Man, that Fissure. It's brutal. And we also lost our creature right now who if we played would just be amazing. And our Reality Smasher, so he's tapping a lot of mana over there. Royal Spout now. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. I'm going to bounce that land at least to the top of his library, but see what our opponent's planning here. All right, attacking with all that stuff. I am going to cast Sweep Away on the land, which is pretty nice. It negates that part of the spell anyway. Library, and then we take all of that, which takes us down to 10. Our Blinding Drone gets exiled, and we have Oblivion Strike. And sadly, we're going to have to use that on this flyer now. We can't really just like use it on something else. This flyer is going to kill us eventually, so. Losing that Blinding Drone kind of sucked, but we didn't really have a choice. Do I attack with both? I mean, if he wants to trade, I'm not blocking either of these anyway, so yeah, we're attacking with both. Gonna be aggressive. Oh, our opponent, man, has an answer for everything we do. Oh, we can't even get in for that much. He is down to 1 card, but he does have a way to draw a bunch of cards. So it could happen. Now he's scrying. Whoa. My computer, my second monitor's deciding not to work on me. We're going to take... What does he ingest now? Well, at least we're not going to draw land. Player Slaughter Drone, I guess. And just end the turn. But we're just going to get out. I mean, he gets to draw cards every turn. An extra card every turn at least. And we don't. So I think we're just going to eventually lose this. I mean, we may even lose it sooner. I mean, that Benthic Infiltrator will kill us in 6 turns, worst case scenario. So, our Slaughter Drone does block up for us here pretty well. We can kill the Reflector. So if we can draw an answer, well, that's interesting. Let's see if he... I'm okay with trading. Giving him Death Touch. If he has removal, then, wow, another one of those. We did see a lot of those, and they are actually pretty good against us. Go to 4. Another land drop we get to miss, and that is not bad. We're going to Demon's Grasp. Get rid of that thing, and now, I mean, he still gets to draw a card every turn, so we're going to lose eventually, but especially because he can also scry. So, like that. I would trade my Manta, I guess, for the Reflector Mage at this point. I don't love it, but kind of have to do it. All right, see if we can top deck some more action, or if we're finally out of it. Ooh, well, that does something. So we don't have to scoop yet. We just basically do. We'll complete disregard the Avenger. I don't know if we have any creature really, though, that we can draw right now that gets us out of this situation. I think now that I've seen an Avenger, I probably do bring in my second Envoy. We've seen a couple flyers that block really, that the Envoy can block really well. He's playing something for 5. Just to make sure we're dead. Maybe we at least got him to show us another card. He wouldn't have had to. I mean, we're dead anyway. Yeah, now we'll scoop. All right, so game 2 was a long, drawn-out one, and we lost it. I think we do want to bring in, where is he? This, Vampire Envoy. And I think we cut out probably Coral Helm Guide. I mean, I guess it's nice for the board stall if we get there again. Maybe it's Null Caller, but that's more of the same. It's nice. And I think it's actually better. I think the Null Caller's better. Cloud Manta. Maybe I just cut Cloud Manta, though. He has too many flyers who, at worst, trade with, for me, they can trade with it at worst, and some of them are even better than that. So I think I am going to cut the Manta instead and keep my mana sinks, and have the Envoys as air support. I would like to play first, and I would we'll keep this hand. It's not perfect. It is a little slow if we don't draw black, but it could be okay. If we draw black, it'll be great. If we don't draw black, then it's going to be really slow hand, but that is not black. We're going to play our Shores. So next turn we can play Culling Drone, which is probably what I'll play for 3 mana. Far from ideal. Okay, I have a Containment Membrane now too, at least. And we're going to add black and play our Culling Drone and end our turn. Yeah, it probably has that 1 white mana removal spell. That would be bad. I'll trade for that or a trick with my 2-drop. I mean, I was okay with that trade. Hedron Crawler. Might not be bad to tap that down. Alright, there's black. I knew we had it in us. So do we play Flare Drone? No, we play Herald of Kozilek first, right? I mean, that seems pretty obvious. Yeah. Herald. So now we can do more with our mana. He also dies, unfortunately, the 1 white mana removal spell. Okay, our opponent is digging. He's probably worried we're going to get ahead now, thanks to... Ooh. Wow. Yeah, all right. All right. Let's do this. Okay. That was a nice top deck. It's kind of the dream. I mean, it ended up only being turn 5, actually, so it's not as good as it looks. But if our opponent plays Containment Membrane now, at least we kill another card in his hand. And we got in for 5, so it's not too bad. Wavewing Elemental, okay. Not too worried about that. Ooh. So do we can complete disregard and Containment Membrane right now. And hit for 7. Put the Membrane on a Hedron Crab, but I think that's too aggressive. I mean, the chances that he has other stuff going on in his hand are way too good to do that. I think I probably just play my Sky Scourer and leave up complete disregard. We're going to just swing with the Reality Smasher here. So we're going to play Sky Scourer, and we can still complete disregard with this because it'll only cost 2. So, I mean, I feel like I want to use the Membrane on something that's a much bigger problem than, a Hedron Crawler. So, all right. Well, that's also good news for us that he's digging. We'll complete disregard this in response to a landfall trigger or at the end of his turn, whichever comes first. All right. So in response to the landfall trigger, it is. So he is disregarded. That gives us 9 damage on the table. He has 1 blocker that I'll have to block with. He may have removal in his hand. Alright. Now I think I play Flare Drone just because he's at low enough life that that's going to be a really relevant amount of damage. Oh, I actually don't have to tap this much mana, do I? I just have to go... We want to use the blue. Play Flare Drone. We attack with everything. All right. Well, he did his job, I think. Right, so he goes to 1. That means we just have to play a colorless spell to kill him. Maybe we do use Containment Membrane now. I mean, it takes away his 1 colorless source, and he won't be able to draw a card. But if he keeps doing that, we're perfectly happy with it, like, honestly, because, you know, it means he can't play any spells, so. We have the Silent Skimmer to kill him next turn. This was a hand that was a little shaky that just drawing a swamp was enough to make it work pretty well. Alright, Cloud Manta. Unless he can kill my Flare, he's just kind of hoping... Silent Skimmer is also not great news. Okay. He has to discard a card. And it already did its job too, really. Unless you have a way to kill my Flare Drone, you are done. So we'll play a colorless spell. Does have to enter the battlefield, yeah. So if he had a counterspell, it wouldn't have hit him. So, all right, that was a long round 1. That third game, we got really lucky, but I'll take it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in round 2.